presented by your Washington area Buick GMC dealers.
I'm Jason, also known as the Lord's Papa. I lost thousands on the LSU South Carolina game in 1992. Now I'm trying to make it back doing sports TV.
I'm JP. I once got knocked out in a pro boxing match. I went to law school and thought I was going to be the next Johnny Hopkins.
I'm Eric, but everybody calls me EB. Tennis was my game. Then I got a master's in education. A lot of good that did me.
I'm John, otherwise known as Case. Tennis used to be my racket back in high school. Then I moved on to selling pickle me elbows. At some point along the way, we all decided to cut our careers.
Now we're the Junkies.
And even after all these years,
We still need to learn.
table manners.
From Comcast Sportsnet, this is Table Manners with the Junkies, presented by Thompson Creek Liquor Company and DC Lottery.
Today we welcome the lead singer of O.A.R, Rockville native Marc Roberge, to our table at the Palm Restaurant. This is a rock star.
Yeah,
You know, this is the only time, this is probably the only time we'll ever be with a rock star.
Yeah, where is it? Does that term offend you, like rock star, excess, you know?
But he is a rock star.
Yeah, but he's like the most down-to-earth rock star ever. If you're gonna call a guy a rock star,
I feel like if I was in a room right now with Flea,
right?
I would insist you don't call me a rock star.
Right. Well, he'd be
Probably
naked.
like,
He'd
who
have
the hell do you think you are?
He'd be naked with socks like
Yeah,
down
that's a
here.
real
That's
rock
all I'd be wearing. You
Yeah.
can't right out.
When you sell out Madison Square Garden twice,
Must be so sick.
that's a rock star.
Man.
Is that the highlight?
The first thing when I remember walking in and you go through this different entrance, and the person that was working the entrance had been there for, years and years, decades. And it was really cool because he gave me kind of a quick, you're here to play your first show with us, but let me tell you what's really happened here. And he said, Elvis came here and did this, and Judy Garland was here, and this person. And it starts to really sink in, but then when it's showtime, it's showtime. And you go up there and you gotta give it, I give it 100% no matter where we're at. But I gotta say, years later, it's sinking in more when I talk about it.
You had a better experience than we did, because I've been to Madison Square Garden once for the Grammys years ago, and I literally sat in the last row. My head was basically hitting the ceiling, and you're there on the stage.
Wait.
So that must be amazing.
What Grammys? Because I went to the Grammys at Madison Square
We were
Garden.
part of the same one.
Right. Okay, so I went, and
Were you in the last row? Like,
I didn't see where I was.
I'm sitting in the 300s.
Right.
My wife and I, girlfriend at the time, we got so dressed. Man, I had a tux on. She had a red prom dress, but super prom dress.
Right.
And it's the Grammys. I didn't know. I got completely done with taking pictures, flowers, the whole nine. We get there and people were wearing hoodies in my section. It's me, and I'm not nominated or anything. I have nothing to do with this. I'm just kind of sitting there, and I'll never forget it because we said we'll never dress up this much again for the Grammys.
Case took piano as a kid. JP took
I was terrible.
guitar.
Me too.
I took the piano, the saxophone, and everything. But you guys, I can only play with music.
Need the sheets.
I need the sheets. You guys are up there and you're playing. One time you play a song for 8 minutes. The next night you'll play it for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
How does that work? How do you improvise and go with that?
So when you're doing a segment and it's really going well and all four of you got something to say, and all four of you kind of know when the other guy's done talking and it's just working. Well, you want to continue that. You want to keep it going, see if the segment goes a little long. Now, sometimes you're doing a segment when your boy's not really making much sense and he's not feeling great.
Right.
You're going to cut it a little short that time.
Right.
It's the same thing, when you're out there and more often than not, you're just
But how do you know what to play? Like, I would memorize the song, and I would go, okay, well, I'm on the chords.
You just keep the same
I
ones
do.
going over
Yeah.
and over.
How do you know how to do it? Are you just making it up as
Yes.
you go along?
Yeah. A lot of lyrically, always making.
He's like,
No, I truly believe this. All right. You obviously work hard at what to be able to play the guitar and sing at the same time. It's one of the most amazing skills
I'm blown away by it too.
in life, Mark. I truly believe you're a blessing.
Coming up on Table Manners.
The crowd's not feeling it, and we start to get booed. I said, ladies and gentlemen, we have exactly 11 minutes. You could boo me for 11 minutes, but I'm not leaving. So join me 11 minutes, and we will get the hell out of here. You'll never even hear us, see us. We'll never bother you again. For the next 11 minutes, let's be friends.
Thompson.
Hi, Rick.
also like, he's actually a rapper. You don't realize it. Marc raps in his songs.
I look like a rapper.
No, but you do. You're basically rapping,
yeah.
right? You're freestyle.
Yeah. Here's the biggest thing, though. You try that stuff in front of a lot of people, you're gonna bomb something.
Right, are you ever like laughing at yourself? Going, I can't believe what I'm saying.
Even with the Kool-Aid drinkers, even with the people that love what you're doing, you're gonna bomb from time to time.
Yeah, and what I really, someone, I can't forget who, but basically said, listen, the only way you're gonna get really good stuff is if you just try anything. Don't be afraid. Like, I don't really care anymore if somebody has something bad to say about me, because they may come to a show and see me going, I feel good in my neighborhood, and you know, this food is good, you know. It's like they might catch me on an off night and think I stink, and that's fine too. I mean, I'm just willing to go for it. So yeah, you know, there's some old stuff.
Or the tried and true, you just stick the mic out to the crowd, let them sing, do their thing.
Or say
that always works.
The four-letter F word. When the else fails.
That's the best feeling.
You just be like, F! And they go crazy. Yeah, they love it.
First of all, who doesn't want to be a rock star? Like, I think we have pretty cool jobs we're going to do. That's fun. It's
great
cool.
job.
I like it. Your job's the best job ever. Okay?
I agree.
No, it's the best job ever. I would trade my job in 2 seconds for yours, all right? To be broke and just to be able to have that feeling. To be on stage, get the crowd. But not only singing your song, and this is kind of a trademark of these guys, is before they even hit the stage, O.A.R. O.A.R.
To be able to hear that.
Look, I'm getting chills right now just thinking about it.
When it gets really loud and you can start hearing it through your in-ear monitors, you get amped up. I mean, you feel like you're a boxer and you're ready to go in and you know, fight.
Who was it that we did an intro for? Basically, it's one of those deals where, you know, you're the hack DJ and you're a satin jacket and you gotta go up there. You gotta go up there and you gotta say, coming up next, O.A.R. And then there's nothing.
Right.
Because they don't want to be associated with you at all.
This is what I remember, Mark. Not a lot of people understand.
It's rough early.
So we come out, we do our thing. I think Eric and Cake are on the mics. Hammered, being stupid. And then, so he was like, hey, go eat a camera. And that's what I remember. The drummer was a little short guy, long hair, and he was peeking through the curtains, and he went,
Yeah, that's the feeling.
I was walking by him. He goes, I'm like, I'm sorry.
I feel really
I don't know if that's you or us.
Man, I was on stage in Los Angeles, and we're on, and the crowd's not feeling it, man. And we only had 35 minutes to play, middle of the day, same situation. However, we start to get booed. And I'm like, it's really early in the day for this. And they're doing the thing where they start doing this.
Who does like the Apollo?
The
Like
whole
Showtime
crowd.
at the Apollo?
Yeah, the whole crowd starts doing this.
That's gotta
so I
be the
decided, you
worst.
know,
That's the worst feeling ever.
it is the worst feeling ever, however, and I got to a point, I said, you know what? I can either let it get to me, or I can join them. I said, ladies and gentlemen, we have exactly 11 minutes, and I always play until the last possible second. Like, I don't care, this is my job, I love this. But ladies and gentlemen, I got 11 minutes. You could boo me for 11 minutes, but I'm not leaving. So I'm gonna stay here for 11 minutes, so join me 11 minutes, and we will get the hell out of here. You'll never even, I go on this whole, you'll never even hear us, see us. We'll never bother you again. For the next 11 minutes, let's be friends. Man, it turned around in a second, won them over. It was like the best. Played poker for 11 minutes and got the hell out of there.
Coming up on Table Matters.
You wrote the song back in the day.
Steal my love away.
Stealing my love away.
It's terrible. It's just all
Alright, well, I had a song. What is your song?
Steal My Love Away. Was this about a girl?
Kathy Thomas.
Table Matters.
Did you used to get hammered before concerts?
Yeah.
Ever?
Yeah.
And during.
And
I've seen you up there with
yeah.
What's the most hammered? Did you ever have like one low point where you're like, you know what, I gotta cut?
Yeah.
There's been a few times where you find yourself dancing inappropriately. Inappropriately in the sense of like, I'm not a dancer.
Right.
So when people you know after the show are like, man, you're really dancing.
They're not critiquing every last move you're doing on stage.
You gotta get over that. You gotta get over that. Because, like, honestly, you know, you're not singing opera at the Kennedy Center.
Right.
You don't need to be
Doesn't matter.
critiquing yourself. And what I'm trying to say is that I enjoy a drink for sure, but I have a little cup, and it's whiskey in there.
Right.
But if you go to the second cup,
that's trouble.
You start to get where your tongue's not working. You're kind of like, oh, you start salivating. You're like, this is gonna be rough. What you say, have you been hammered? Yeah, you know, I've definitely enjoyed myself over the years, and I've done everything I wanted to do as far as experimenting and doing fun stuff. I did. But when you're on stage and you're babbling and you're that, it's embarrassing. It's like, I don't want to be ever remembered as the guy who like fell over the monitor speaker because he's hammered. I'd rather go to a show and feel pretty good and do a great show, and that's what I want to remember.
Do you watch your shows on? You never watch them post?
Nah.
Post performance, you never watch?
Nah. I can't even watch a band play on TV because I'm gonna want to go do a show. So on tour I'll watch stuff, but never off.
But you won't watch your own stuff.
No.
When you talk about guys that fall in,
I'm the same way.
We won't watch this show after it's done, so I kind of know what you're talking about.
You'll watch one, and then you'll be like, I'm never watching it again.
You know, we talk about the high of performing. I can't imagine anything better than that. Like, I don't even know how you finish the rest of the night. I don't know how you go to sleep.
There's something like when you walk off that stage and you go back and it quiets down. You get in your bus, you sit outside. That's also a very beautiful moment, you know, where that's maybe what I was seeking. You know, it's that aftermath. The night, every time I played the Garden, that same night I would go back home and walk my dogs. And there was something really...
You gotta have somebody walk your dogs. You just sold out the Garden.
But that's the thing that I'm trying to get to.
That's how you come down.
That's the moment.
Right.
That's how you
I don't want to have someone else do it. I find no enjoyment in that. It's like sitting and drinking Cristal and sitting in some crazy place.
So you're not a real rock star.
No, but the joy is like when it all fades, you know, and you can think about, wow, that one moment, that was pretty special.
Here's why O.A.R is going to be around for 20 plus more years touring. Because I walked into Safeway the other day, and they're blasting it over their in-store intercom.
You know you made it.
They're not blasting the junkies. They're not blasting the junkies there. They're blasting O.A.R. And that's like the type of crossover that you guys have had. That's awesome.
How often does that happen, by the way?
I remember being in Atlanta and literally getting into an elevator, literally hearing one of my songs
in the
as
elevator.
Muzak. Yeah. Not as a song, but just like the Muzak version of Hey Girl.
Do you think cha-ching when you hear that, or do you think...
No.
You don't think that?
No, I don't. Because it takes so long for it to trickle down that it's not like you just get a check.
Yeah.
So you don't really think, I think cha-ching when you get that check.
Right.
When you be like, oh, wow, that's nice.
But at that moment you thought, that's elevator music. What's happened here?
So where does the creativity come in terms of the music? Because there's only so many chords.
Right.
So how that's
You're there a genius.
I know. That's what I'm trying to get into his mind.
No, what they do is they categorize a song by melody and lyrics. So if you have the same chords, say the chords to Crazy Game of Poker is the same as No Woman, No Cry. It's the same as, I mean, a million hit songs, C, G, A minor, F. Very similar, or the same chords, but the melody changes. So when you're writing a melody, and if I was going to say, you know, no cards, no poker, you know, I'd be like, oh, that's kind of like No Woman, No Cry. But within that structure, I'm able to just kind of, I really am a believer in going for it. I don't think about it.
What was their song? He wrote a song back in the day.
Steal My Love Away.
Stealing my love away.
It's terrible. It's just
I had a song. What is your song?
It's not as good as Steal Away by Rich. What was that name? Remember,
Steal My Love Away, was this about a girl?
I'm sure. Kathy Thomas.
She was a blonde singer back in the day.
I actually have no idea.
I remember EB had a piano, because his mom was a piano teacher.
Yeah.
He had a piano, and he's like, you gotta listen to my new song. And it was like the same chord over and over again.
The Beatles played 3 chords, they're silly.
Yeah.
And what were the lyrics?
Again, with the point, the melody and the lyrics.
I believe
right,
the lyrics were
change
stealing my love away, stealing my love away, stealing my love away, over and over.
You know what? AC/DC was pretty simple, and they made a great living out of it.
They did.
If the 4 of us started a band when we were 11 years old, or whenever you started
We tried
playing
to
guitar.
start one.
Okay, we started at 32, but
Yeah.
we started playing guitar at 11. We started writing songs at whenever you started, 15.
Yeah.
We couldn't do it. You're gifted.
Well, that's,
You never know, though. You know what I mean?
By the way, to say that we tried to start a band,
We had a
theory,
band.
I believe Jason
That was a
sold.
farce.
Jason sold the
Because I
instruments
know
he
I
was
couldn't
given.
do it.
What instrument?
He was our bassist.
My fingers are too fat.
He was our lead singer.
So Lurch, they give the bass. They're like, you gotta be the bass
Right.
player.
Well, fingers are like 4 strings. He always gets one to play the bass, right?
He sold the bass. Like 2 weeks later,
I made $500.
the Guitar Center donated instruments to us.
Oh.
And he ends up hawking it.
Well, you know what? He was way ahead of the game because he was already in his drug, sell the instrument phase. So he's like, I'm in a band, I'm on heroin.
So is that the last straw? So the last straw is selling the instrument, then you sell the biz.
You sell out. You know, you're like, I'm really curious about this guy. You know, he had a bass. Now he doesn't have a bass, and he's really skinny.
You know, you mentioned like 4, 5, 6 guys, you know, in your band, and a couple things I want to ask you, as far as like group dynamics go, you know, I think we have a similar vibe. We've been together a similar amount of time, at least professionally. And I'm always amazed when I'm around you guys, and I think it's your general vibe, is you guys all get along. You truly seem to all, like we get along at times, but like I tackled JP last year.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay, but they don't all get along all the time.
Not all the time. But you guys are always generally in pretty good mood. It doesn't seem to be a lot of real bickering. I'm sure there are moments, but
I think it's basically a lot like you guys. I mean, imagine if you saw him walking down the road doing something funky, being a little bit prima donna superstar, right?
Right.
You might not say anything right away, but eventually it would just blow your top and you couldn't hold it. Then you start joning on him a little bit. You start giving him the business.
we would just blow up.
Okay, well, we earn respect. You know, you gotta earn that stuff. You can't. I'm not just gonna respect you because you play in a band with me. You know, like they earn respect because they basically treat me right and I treat them right. They practice. I practice. That's pretty much it. When someone steps out of line, we let them know. It's like you do it with your brothers, you know. You do it by tackling. I do it by a conversation. Yeah.
No, but the other thing is you guys have slowly developed. You're actually slowly but surely getting better, just adding to it. By the way, your checks are getting smaller.
Yeah.
I would limit the horns, maybe 1 or 2 at the most.
By the way, the Johnnies are adding nobody. Who already cut the check for you?
Yeah, you're all laughing now, but you're all thinking like, who can I get rid of next?
Coming up on Table Manners.
If you lost your voice in the morning, how do you get it back?
That's what I get nervous about. I don't get, yeah. I mean,
What
little cortisone here and there, you know. PEDs are not illegal in my business, which is nice.
The offensive line.
Sorry,
Were 6 million. Imagine that.
Now back to Table Manners.
Do you worry that your priorities as an artist will change because of your priorities at home over the next 5 years? Do you worry about that?
That's a very good question. I don't worry about it because I've been preparing for this for a while. Someone asked a friend of mine, Boomer Esiason, said, before you started working
Nice
on...
name drop, by the way.
Friend of mine. I was with my friend. Sorry, but anyway.
My friend Squirrel.
Yeah. Right. Horsey.
The point of this was like before he started in TV and radio and all these things, 5 years before his career ended, he was starting to prepare for this thing. I took that as advice of saying, you know what, enjoy the moment you're in right at this time and act as if it's never going to happen again.
Rockstar, man.
Just say, man, I'm just trying to be cool.
Who's the coolest guy on your phone? See, he's dropping things. Like, if we looked at your cell phone right now.
Yeah, you got a good.
Yeah, you got a good resume there, I don't think.
No, you got someone. Give me a rock star.
Him?
Yeah. No, do you have a rock star on your phone?
Probably.
Like a legit rock star.
You have Lenny Kravitz?
John Mayer? John Mayer might be on there.
No, I mean, look, you know, he does his thing. I don't know. I'm not on his phone.
Dave Matthews.
No, it might be the golfers or things like that. Or Boomer Esiason.
I mean, there's guys, you know, around. I don't really know.
You're not a name dropper.
No, because I got busted for it.
Bono on your phone.
I mean, it's just like guys, like normal guys, Ed Vedder.
What about like I know you're married and that's all good, right?
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
It's all good.
Right, all right.
There's gotta be temptations.
I'm not going into the temptation route. I'm saying
It just has to be.
of course, there always is. But when you go out, are there like celebrity chicks that you want to meet? Like, I don't know who that might be, but you're like, oh my god.
Are you a star banger like EB?
Like,
no,
you're not.
I'm not only because of the people that I really look up to and admire or really want to meet and hang out with, I'm too nervous to approach.
Not that you would approach her, but you would go, oh my God, well, this is a rock star, but like, that's Gwen Stefani, oh my God.
Oh, I love her, man. I love her. She's
right. Or what even like Kate Upton or something with that? You know what I mean? Like, probably no talent.
What am I going to say? What am I going to say to this
Not that you're
girl?
going to say anything.
Would you even know Kate Upton if you saw her?
I'm trying to be young.
No, I understand that, but if you saw Kate Upton...
No, if like for me, if I saw Jennifer Aniston, I'd be like, oh my God, that's Jennifer Aniston. She's right next. Like,
it always goes back to Aniston.
I know.
You're one girl. Top seeds.
What's a goal? Like, you want to win a Grammy?
We were nominated for a Whammy once.
Which is, what is that?
Washington Area Music Association.
Didn't we win a Whammy?
No, we won a Yui.
We won a Yui. That was the Bowie.
And we lost. I'll never,
I can't believe I just asked if we won a Whammy. I don't even know what a Whammy is.
Yeah.
You know what a Whammy is? On a golf course, if you hit a par 5 in regulation, and you par, and you hit the green, and you're close to the win, that's a Whammy. That's what I was thinking.
We know you have a lot of overhead living in New York City. So tell us about Live on Red Rocks. Talk about that and how cool that was, putting that together.
Sure. I mean, I remember showing up that day that we were filming the Red Rocks thing, and I lost my voice earlier in the day, and the whole day just nervous.
You're playing that night, so how do you, if you lost your voice in the morning, how do you get it back?
That's what I get nervous about. I don't get, I gain a little cortisone here and there, you know. PEDs are not illegal in my business, which is nice. I basically only get nervous when I start to lose the voice during the day. So I spend a lot of time, you got to do a lot of like physical activity. To get your voice going, you got to do push-ups, you got to run, you got to get your body going. If you sit there and relax, well, your muscles relax, you know. So
that's true. When I work out, I'm an amazing singer.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm an amazing singer when I work out. I don't know why that is. Why is that?
I don't believe that first time.
For me, all things wrong, dude.
You hear him right now. He's got clarity.
I don't believe anything.
Well, that's true though. Like if you're like a guy that sings when you're listening to music or whatever, you sing better when you're working out. Why?
I guess I heard this one story one time. Bob Marley and the Wailers, before their set, they'd go and they'd play the whole set backstage together. But Bob would do calisthenics and push-ups, and he swore by it. And you know, you as a kid, you think that's a cool story, so I'm gonna do whatever he does. You know, I'm gonna smoke 8 spliffs and then I'm gonna do 10 push-ups. You know, yeah. So I do all that, and then my doctor kind of said, you know, listen, some people take naps before shows, but this is the worst thing you can do. Get it going.
Next time you're on the show, we just ask if you bring your guitar and play a few ditties.
So I would love to.
Cheers,
thanks so much. Here's to you. Here's to the junkies, legends.
Here's to O.A.R.
Here we go.
Thanks very much.
I see you guys have all those pictures of it. How many do you go through, really?
You know, I went to see Tesla at the 9:30 club. Homeboy kept throwing pics out, but way too often. Like during every song, after every song, before every song, he's like, So I said, no, I'm not throwing pics out anymore, because it just looked like
turning you off from
not that many people there. It was like you're throwing out 1,900 pics.